Welcome back, everyone. Today we are talking about the strength consistency. And I have been itching to talk about this strength for a couple of reasons. Number one being that when I ask people to look at their reports and how they felt about their reports, and if there was anything that they were surprised wasn't in their top 10 or wished were in their top 10, consistency is the number one strength that people name. And that is because people don't actually know what consistency as it pertains to CliftonStrengths. So yes, consistency from a CliftonStrengths lens does contain some of the definitions that we know to be aligned with the word consistency, but there's actually a lot more to it. So I'm very excited to dive in today. If you are any one of those people who does have it high, great, this is for you. We're going to talk all about it. If you don't and you were disappointed, because I think you're going to see why that didn't show up for you in your top 10 and how, again, it's a reminder that there are no good strengths, there are no bad strengths, there are just strengths. Everybody has all 34. It is simply your 34 report is simply in order of magnitude. So your bottom one is your least prevalent. Doesn't mean you can't use it. Doesn't mean you don't have it. Your top is your most prevalent. Doesn't mean it's the only one that you use. So with that, my daily disclaimer is that we are talking about consistency as if it were your only strength. So it will not be nuanced in the way that it would be if I were talking to you specifically about your top 10 report. If you do want that, if you want to know how consistency shows up for you with your unique set of strengths, then schedule a strength session with me. Because you have been doing this series, you will get 10% off of a strength session with me. So you can click the link at the bottom of the email and that will give you access to that. Let's dive into the overview of consistency. So just to start off with, balance is really important to those who have high consistency. You are likely keenly aware of the need to treat people the same. No matter the situation, no matter what kind of needs people have, you want to treat everyone the same so that the scales don't tip too far in any one person's favor. As someone with strong consistency, it's likely that you see yourself as the guardian of what is right and fair. You typically tend to be opposed to special favors. You believe that people function best in a consistent environment with clear rules that apply equally to everyone. This is kind of the environment where people know what to expect. That's what you believe, is that when they're in a consistent environment where rules apply equally, then that is a place where people know what to expect and it's predictable and even-handed. In a setting like this, you are certain that people will have a fair chance to show their worth because all things are equal. One of the ways that I like to talk about consistency is to kind of lay it out in terms of equality versus equity. A lot of people know this kind of discussion and the differences between the two, especially if you've lived in the world over the last couple of years. Consistency is what I would consider to be the equality, right? You believe that everyone deserves equal treatment, equal resources, same rules, et cetera, et cetera. And this is really, really important in so many environments. It's also important to have the equity piece, right? And so there's this balancing act that takes place when somebody has consistency of finding places and people who also think about the individual. And we'll talk a little bit about that as we go through the different videos. But this is one where people think that consistency just means that you are consistent and you show up and you continue to do things in a consistent manner. And that is a little bit of what this is, but it's not all of it. So hopefully just in hearing this overview, you already see, if you don't have consistency high, why you don't have consistency high. It is not a bad thing, and it's not a bad thing if you do have consistency high. It's just is what it is, and hopefully this can really help you to understand why. So let's dig into what consistency looks like at work in the next video. I'll see you over there.